Hey friends, welcome back. Thanks for tuning in and taking a time to watch this update. If we don't know each other, I'm Kelly Poole. I'm an executive recruiter, a career strategist, and all-around hype woman for anyone who is trying to find more value, more freedom, and ultimately more purpose in their career or business. At the beginning of this year, 2025, I announced to many of you who are on my email list or in my real life that I wanted to make a pivot. And then 2025 came, and I, like many of you, just have really been going through it. I live in Southern California where we were impacted by the fires and have had personal life stuff going on and professional life, and not to mention existing in the United States right now. So I decided that instead of pushing through and trying to just stay busy, I would trust my instincts and also trust my teaching, and I would honor my instinct to pause and to slow down. And so I shared that with you all at the beginning of the year, made some changes to the business, stopped sharing job leads weekly, and have really been in a space of just sharing what this journey has been to me. So I wanted to pop on and just say hi. I'm still here. I'm around. I love hearing from you all via email or your comments. It's really nice to know in this moment that we're not alone, that there are so many people that are asking big questions about what their role is in the world. How do they manage their individual existence while also being a global citizen, right? Being available to the work that we do in the world that we live in every day. And so I just hope that sharing some of my stories is helpful for you, because hearing from you all has been helpful for me and a great reminder that we're not in this journey alone. So I was thinking about what has sort of helped me get to today versus where I was when we started talking about this pause and this inventorying of life and business. And there are three things that I think have helped me thrive. And the overarching lesson is really trusting the present moment, just fully surrendering to the present. Those of you that know me know that I don't live in the present, actually. I live very far in the future. It is this sort of belief anchored in what some would call, magical thinking that sort of sustains me in the day-to-day. And so being in the present moment, because that's really the only thing that we have, has been new to me. But in the beginning of the year, like many of you, there was so much going on that my brain wasn't able to be in my comfort spot, which is the future. I just felt like executive functioning was limited. There was a lot going on. A lot of our normal support system was overtaxed because everyone was experiencing so much intense energy. And so that really meant I had to strip down to the basics and start to be present. And so trusting the daily, moment by moment, present moment has been a really big practice and a new reality for me. One of the things that's been helpful to me has been physically arriving in my body. So the present moment is today, which means I have to move at the speed that I can move at. I have one physical vessel, one mouth, one brain, one set of ears, one pair of hands. And so I can do what I can do. I used to live a life of so much multitasking. I mean, my brain was just like, how can I do at least 4 things at once? And because I'm surrendering to the present moment, the only thing you can do is what you can do. And so for me, that's looked like moving really at the speed of nature and not overtaxing my system. When you're moving through sort of individual traumatic things, they are stressful enough, but when you're moving through collective trauma, like political craziness and fires and being displaced and other life stressors, your system, your body's doing so much to survive and to sort of process and transmute that energy that trying to push against that is overtaxing the system. Like, our brains were not made, despite what all the productivity gurus tell you, our brains were not made to have that much sort of input So for me, that's meant taking naps. That's meant honoring organic movement opportunities that are low tech. So going on walks without my phone, not listening to anything. This has not meant scheduling a HIIT class online and taking my own mat to the class and driving and taking a Zoom call in the car and blah, blah, blah. No. It's meant waking up, hydrating my body, deciding what feels good, going on walks, being in my brain more and thinking and breathing, coming home, showering, getting ready. And many of you are like, yeah, Kelli, that's just life. We do that every day. But I'll say, like many of you, didn't do that every day, the movement part. Other things, it's how quick we have turned our mornings into coffee in the car or doing 1,000 things. And again, these are my individual strategies. And so at this season in my life, there was no reason to rush. There was nothing that was urgent or emergent, right? I'm not an emergency room doctor or nurse. Yes, all of our work is important. Everything we do is important. But I realized that to be present in the moment meant I had to listen to myself. I wake up in my body as myself. And so deciding to be in the moment and to be fully present in my body and then let that set the pace for the day meant that some days calls were canceled and naps were taken. And it worked out. It just worked out. I mean, it's probably been 40 days or so since we've had a life update. And I will say this ebbing and flowing with the energy within me and sort of with the collective energy has really been a nice rhythm. The other thing that has really helped me thrive in this present moment of transition has been to befriend and to get in right relationship with my ego. So I've made a few videos about energetically aligning with the job market, about how to really center yourself and ground yourself as a leader. And in most of these, I've talked about our friend, the ego. So in times of change or transition, when we're really trying to surrender to the present moment, not be, worried about the future or obsessing about the past, the ego is like, what is happening? We need to be making sure we're okay and we're safe. And you're absolutely right to be worried about that, because here are the list of 27 things that could happen. Whew. Gotta shut that down. So over the past month or so, this for me has looked like being very kind to the ego. Hey girl, I don't know why I think my ego's a woman. I guess it's just the inside of me. And just sort of letting myself go down the rabbit hole of like, yeah, you're right. All of that could happen. That's going on. Got to manage this, housing stuff, moving stuff, schedules, unplanned emergencies, exciting things, happy things. All this is happening. And I'm okay. All is well. Everything that is supposed to happen is happening. So it's okay. Like, yes, you're right. This desire to seek validation, when you're in transition, for those of us that are always moving and going and delivering and producing things, it feels sometimes a little scary for me to stop being such an external output. And, I haven't been on social media in the past whatever days, and I haven't been in as many external facing things, and that is okay with me. And again, it's what I can do and need to do in this season. But you realize how much of life and the day-to-day is fueled by sort of the external validation, the external rhythm, and that egoic need for me to sort of survive and push through in spite of what my body and my emotions are saying. And so again, for me, just being physically in my body, aware of the present moment, and then able to say to my ego, hey, we're okay. Like, we got this. We can trust our intuition. We can trust ourselves. That's really been helpful for me in the moment. And then the final thing that has been somewhat surprising, I like to say I'm like testing this hypothesis, is just releasing resistance. In some ways for me, that means invoking a higher power. So, God, the universe, higher power, spirit, creator, source, whatever. But just honestly waking up, being in my body, acknowledging the present moment, and just saying like, I give up. There's a list running in my head. I feel it. It wants to jump out, but here's what I do. I surrender. I'm in this powerful present moment. This list is going on in my head and I give it away. I surrender everything else. Inner being, higher power, Holy Spirit, whomever, you got to handle this, because right now this is what I can handle. And in that surrendering, the releasing of resistance, the trusting that everything is going to work out as it's supposed to, and I don't have to be the orchestrator and the organizer of everything. In that ultimate release and surrender to the present moment, life has been so amazing. I have been pleasantly surprised and delighted. The sun has shone. I've gone to the beach. I've had great informal connections that I didn't plan for or strategize around. I feel supported and buoyed, not by a thing, right? It's not like I found this new system or moved and something external happened, but internally, it's like a deep exhale. Those of you that love being in the ocean, love being in the water, I love to float. I love sort of getting in, splashing around the water, and then that moment when you're kind of getting yourself to float and maybe your feet aren't fully up or you're laying back, and then that one moment you just take the exhale and you let go and you close your eyes and the ocean is holding you and everything is right and it's almost like you're in sync with the pulse of life. That has been sort of the day-to-day experience, even on days when stuff is happening, because stuff still happens. I mean, I am still in a career transition. There are so many of you that are having really unexpected, unplanned for transitions. There have been loss and grief. And in all of that, there is something secure that is happening as the undercurrent in my life. And I will say that that was not present at the beginning of the year. There was so much, it felt like externally chaotic energy. And so that's what I've been up to. I'm still trusting the present moment. I'm still in the middle of this pause in my business. I am so fortunate to have tons of work going on in the sort of non-career side of our business. And it's really giving me the opportunity to rest. And so for those of you that are watching this, however I came onto your screen, I'm really grateful for you. And I want you to know that you have this opportunity available to you also. You have space, you have margin, even if it's 5 minutes in your car, if it's 2 extra minutes in bed with your eyes closed in the morning, you can surrender to the powerful present moment. You can begin to release the resistance and to just choose to be centered in your body and in the moment. And even if you can only hold on to it for those 2 minutes before you get out of bed, again, just beginning to make space for light in our lives is the thing that's going to begin to buoy us. And so I hope that you are finding some clarity. I'm excited to be sharing in a few weeks, maybe a little sooner, about an opportunity to do this pause together. It's been really fun to have a lot of one-on-ones and to hear how people are responding to the current, not only job market, but also business environment. So many of you are aspiring consultants or coaches, or you want to do some sort of service-based small business work, and it's been fun to share lessons together, to learn lessons together. So I'm going to open up an opportunity to focus with me and do some of that work together. I got distracted because there was this beautiful hummingbird out here just sort of pollinating around. Speaking of surprise and delight. All right, that feels like the perfect energy to end this video on. Thank you. I love you. I'm rooting for you. Whoever you are, hang in there. You got this. Let me know how you're doing. I love your messages, your emails, and I will see you in the next video.